Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to find the correct settings for your material for cutting. I'm also going to be scoring and engraving, but we're going to mostly focus on cutting. The first thing you want to focus on is how many plies your material has. This will help you understand your cutting settings. The file that I'm using to test cut this will be in the description for a free download. This sheet on the left side, it's a 3-ply with a MDF core. Both of these sheets look similar in size, but one measures at 3/16 and the other one measures at 1/4. Some of them are oversized and undersized, so keep that in mind. The sheet on the right, it's a Birch 5-ply that measures at 1/4. Because the difference implies the laser settings to cut through these two materials are going to be different. One's going to be a faster speed and the other one's going to be a slower speed. Now this 1/8 inch MDF sheet will cut more faster just because it's more thinner. These will be the 4 squares that I'm test cutting at different settings. The blue line is going to be my score line and the bottom is going to be my engraving. I always start my cut piece at full power, then bump up my speed by 10%. These are the settings I'll be using throughout the 3 sizes of material. I always start off at 110 at full power, and this is a little overkill. The second square will be full power at 120 speed. On the third square, I'll be using full power and 130 for the speed. And on the fourth square, I'm going to have full power at 140 speed. On the scoring, it's very easy to find the score line settings. This is the settings I use. I usually keep mine at 40% power, and for the speed I keep it at 230. I usually like to keep my engraving speed at 1000 and that power is always at 80. That always seems to be the perfect spot on different materials that I'm using. I always keep my grayscale at very power. It always seems to work for me the best. And the lines per square inch, I usually keep mine at 170 to 340, in between that range. These are the 3 sizes I'll be cutting. The one at 1.20, the second one will be at 0.208, and the third one will be at 0.23. I'm going to speed up most of this video. On this test, everything cut out perfectly. Now what I'm looking at is for less charring on the edges of the wood. As you can see, the wood edges are burnt. I'm going to do another test cut. I'm going to change the settings to 100% power and bump up every square by 10%. Always pay attention to your scrap pieces that come out from cutting. It will tell you a lot and help you adjust your settings to be perfectly. So right here, I'm bringing the speed up 10% and bringing the power down to 100. I'm doing this to every square. Now I'm going to do another test cut. If you notice how I lift up the material, I do that for a particular reason, just to see if the pieces of wood fall off on their own. And that piece that stood behind will tell me that the setting before it will be my settings that I'll be able to use for my cut settings. On this test, it was determined that I can use 170 speed and 100% power. In the future, if I need to adjust, I can use 150 and 100% power. Now you're going to notice the difference between the charring from the 100% power and full power. It looks way better with 100% power. Now I'm going to repeat what I did on the first test with the other two cuts. And sometimes 100% power does not work for certain types of material. You would have to use full power and change your speed. On this test cut, it didn't work. I was using 100% power. Like I said before, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So now I'm going back to full power and adjusting my speed. Now this is my third cut on this one, so I can find my correct settings. And if you have made it this far, I would like to say thank you and stay connected, because I have more videos coming out like this. On my fourth try, I ended up finding the speed for 100% power, so I ended up with 125 speed and 100% power. On my third sheet, it didn't take me long to find the correct settings because the last two didn't cut through, so I had to use full power and adjust my speed. On the quarter inch, I ended up doing another test just to make sure I was able to find the correct settings. So my outcome is 140 at full power. And remember, this is 5 ply Birch